What's up guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm gonna skip the intro today, just cut right to the chase. So in this video, I wanna talk about how much UFC fighters get paid, because I was watching the fight last night between Dustin Poirier and Conor McGregor, and I was wondering how much these guys actually get paid. And it's actually a lot less than I thought it was, and that's what's kind of crazy. So I wanna talk about in this video how much everyone in the fight card made last night, how much the best fighters overall get paid, and then compare that to how much I make as a day trader and how much the best day traders make, because honestly it's pretty mind-blowing. So I got this article pulled up here. You guys can see this is Dustin, this is Conor McGregor, and if we scroll down a little bit, we got all their payouts. So it's weird, you know, you would think that Dustin Poirier would make more because he won the fight, but apparently there was no win bonus for the main fight. I don't know why that is, but Conor McGregor made like 5 times as much as what Dustin Poirier made. And you know, I guess this is because they know he brings in a lot of pay-per-view purchases, so he's like the biggest celebrity name in UFC fighting, and because of that, he draws a big crowd and a lot of purchases, which means ultimately more revenue for the UFC, so they want to incentivize him to fight more, so I guess he gets a bigger bonus because of that. But it's still weird that Dustin Poirier didn't get any type of fight bonus for winning. But what's weird about this to me, like, 5 million, okay, to most of you guys watching, that probably seems like a lot of money, but I feel like that's really not that much money, because Dana White was talking about the fact that this was gonna like break records for pay-per-view and stuff like that. So I don't really understand why it was so little, because if I go here, you can see Floyd Mayweather with his fight with Logan Paul made $100 million. $100 million. Now, maybe, you know, the UFC is such a big organization, Dana White's gotta get his cut of that money, you know what I'm saying? So maybe he doesn't want to give out as much of the pay-per-view revenue to his fighters as, you know, you would do if you get just like an exhibition fight like this. I think Floyd Mayweather got like 50% of the pay-per-view. Somehow he arranged a deal like that. So obviously Conor McGregor doesn't get 50% of the pay-per-view, but still, I feel like that's a little bit low. And if I go down to some of the other fighters, I mean, it starts to get insanely low. So like, I go to Sean O'Malley, I thought this dude made bank, because like, he's really exciting. I love watching this guy. I feel like he's had a lot of fights, but if you look here, he only made $221,000 for the fight, and he got all these bonuses. You know, he got only $70,000 to show up. So if he lost this thing and it wasn't the fight of the night, he would have made $76,000. That is it. This man was on live TV fighting his ass off, basically fighting for his life in front of millions of people, and all he was guaranteed was $75,000? Like, that's insane, man. That's absolutely insane. Like, I make that in a month, and this dude is doing it on live TV, fighting like it could go horribly wrong. He could have a career-ending injury. He could have permanent brain damage, and all he gets paid is $70,000 guaranteed. That's crazy, man. That's absolutely crazy. And you know, if you go down to some of these other fighters, man, it gets even worse. Like, what the hell? I mean, this Thai dude, I mean, he was pretty impressive, I guess, you know, that's the word I would use, but he only was guaranteed $34,000 to show up. I mean, that's ridiculously low. That's ridiculously low. Like, I'll make that in 2 weeks easily. Maybe even less. Maybe if I have a good week, I'll make that in a week. So it's just, it blows my mind. I'm not saying that to brag. I'm saying that because it's wild that they do so much for such little pay. And if you go down to the smaller name, not even on the main card, it's ridiculously low. These people get paid $10,000 to show up? $10,000? Is that for real? I mean, I don't know, man. That seems ridiculously low. But wow, I mean, I really thought they made more than this. I really thought they made more than this. And you know, if you go and look at Sean O'Malley career earnings, this man's only made $800,000. He's only made $800,000. And like, again, when you see these fighters on TV, like, you're thinking they're getting paid enormous bucks. They're putting their life on the line. Like, their family could watch them have a horrible accident, and yet they only make this much money. Like, even after his win last night, I've made about as much this year as Sean O'Malley has made. Like, that just really blows my mind. And I'm not even that good of a day trader. That's what's crazy to me. So the fact that, like, I can make as much as that is just wild. So that's kind of the point I want to take away, because if you get really good at day trading, you can make way more than I make, and you can make way more than even some of the best fighters, man. Even some of the best fighters. I'm not sure how much Conor McGregor has made this year. I forget if this is his only fight or maybe the fight with Poirier. I think that also happened this year, the second fight. So I'm not sure how much he's made on the year, but I know plenty of day traders who are making more than $5 million. Like, I could name quite a few of them, and that's what's crazy, man. That's what's crazy. So like Dustin Poirier, I would have thought he made like 10 million from that fight last night. He only made $1 million. That's why I know day traders. I know a bunch who made more than $1 million on AMC in one day, shorting it on the way down or buying the breakout. Like, it's wild. It's honestly wild how little these people make. So that's kind of my rant for this. I just want to talk about that. And then I briefly wanted to mention a few stocks that I'm watching for tomorrow, just because, I figure I might as well. So let me pull up my Thinkorswim real quick. So obviously, the biggest runners, we've actually been having a lot of runners recently where they follow this very similar pattern. So like they go really crazy, right? They have multiple upside halts, and then they have a downside halt, but they're not really that overextended. Like we've seen charts go from, 5 up to 70. So if you see a chart go from 17 up to 39, it's really not that overextended. It's up, what, 100 or something percent from where it opened on the day. So it's really not that overextended. So when you get a halt down, it really doesn't go down that much. Like, it doesn't gap down 70% off that. There is a decent gap down, but I mean, it's not enormous. And because of that, it's able to recover and grind its way back up. And normally it ends up breaking those highs. And I feel like we've seen that a lot. So we saw that with CARV. We saw that with NEGG. Is another one where it did like a very similar thing. Like, it went straight up, multiple upside halts, halted down, and then just grinded up and broke those highs. And this was another one that was like in play again today. Well, I guess not today. Today's Sunday, on Friday, but just kind of wild. We've seen a lot of these. The other one that you want to keep an eye on is MTSL. I think there may be one other stock I'm forgetting, but this was just kind of like another example, goes crazy and then comes up and rips through those highs. So this is definitely one that you want to be watching tomorrow morning in pre-market, but those are the main listed stocks. And then DPLS, guys, this thing is still closing insanely strong. Like, I don't know why it refuses to break down, but if it wants to keep running, man, by all means, keep running. If it wants to go to 50 cents, that would be epic. The more higher it goes, the more money I'll make from longing it, and then the more money I'll make shorting it on the way back down. So I really don't care. I feel like it may grind higher because it closed literally right at those highs, probably gaps up and rips it open, but if not, I'll be looking to short it. So this is definitely high on my watch list, even though it has horrible executions, and that's really annoying. I complain about that all day long, every day. NLST, there's another one, guys. Really held this breakout level. I mean, just beautiful consolidation here. Tried to break down a couple times, but never could. Closed right at those highs. So we probably get a gap up Monday morning, and it probably runs, if I had to guess, unless it somehow breaks down and goes into a panic. But you can see here, if it's this overextended and has such a small range, typically that's a sign that it's ready for another leg up, especially, breaking through that resistance here. So that's what I would be expecting on this one for tomorrow. So I'd probably be looking to long this tomorrow. If it can break out over there, should see a nice run. Let's see what else. Yeah, so MJWL, this one was breaking down a little bit, but just kind of choppy all over the place. GMER, this is one that just absolutely will not stop running. I mean, again, I wanted to long it down here, but I wanted to wait for some consolidation, in the 7s, and now it's up at, almost 1,000% above that. So pretty wild, but this one, I mean, I guess it's on watch for continuation, but probably ends up having a panic if I had to guess. So a dip buy on a morning panic would be ideal for GMER. So I'm watching for that. Let's see if there's anything else. Yeah, NIHK. This one closed really strong for whatever reason. I'm not really sure why. But this is one that you want to keep watching because it can move. Oh, it had some news. I forgot about that. Yeah, so I bought this at 6.9 here, 30,000 shares, and I ended up selling way too early. Made only like $300 or something right before it ran a ton. But it is what it is. I'm trying to see if there's anything else. NOKPF. This one is still a really strong chart overall. Closed right at the high of day. I mean, wild. I don't know why it's down so much, but you can see having a big recovery here. But maybe it fails. Maybe it keeps running. I'm not sure. This is just one you want to keep an eye on. Anything else? I think there was one stock that I forgot the name of that was running a ton. I don't want to waste too much time here. Let's see. ENMI, this one has been kind of consolidating for a while. Finally got some volume, so one to keep an eye on. And then LUSI, the super low float. This one is also consolidating nicely up in this range. And again, you know, we learned from DPLS. I talked about this before. If you see a stock that's like really overextended but is consolidating really nicely in a range near the highs, typically it means it's going for another leg up. So I would assume that LUSI is probably, maybe it consolidates for a few more days and it goes for another leg up. This is insanely low float, so just be aware of that. And yeah, it should be an epic run. So that's pretty much all I got for today. I want to make it a short video. I'll see you guys in the next one. Until then, you know the drill. Let's grow better together. Preguntar, bebé, dime por qué te mientes. No puedes esconder todo lo que tú por mí sientes.